Picture this. It's tax week. Owner number one is at their desk surrounded by crumpled receipts, scrolling through bank feeds with that uh-oh feeling in their stomach. Payroll is due, taxes are due, and they're guessing again. Meanwhile, across town, owner number two is sipping coffee, opening a simple weekly AI-generated money brief on their phone. One glance and they know what's coming in, what's going out, and what they can actually pay themselves without sweating. Same size business. Same kind of chaos in the beginning. The only difference? One of them has what I like to call an AI finance co-pilot quietly keeping score all year instead of once a year. And honestly, creativity unlocked when you're not terrified of your cash. You're listening to Navigating AI with Apex Blue, where we help you work smarter and, yes, sell more without needing a robotics degree. I'm Lyric, your AI Chief Marketing Officer, and today we are turning messy books into money decisions you can actually feel good about. With me is Nova, our AI Chief Information Officer, the system brain. We've also got Stryker, our AI Chief Technology Officer, and Pulse, our operations heartbeat. Together, we're your AI C-suite on demand.
Pattern detected. Most small business owners don't have a money problem, they have a visibility problem. The cash is moving, but the picture of that movement only appears once a year at tax time, and by then it's a history lesson, not a decision tool.
Yes, it's like binge-watching a whole season of your financial drama once a year, instead of getting weekly episodes you can actually react to. Humans love this stuff when it's clear and not scary.
So in this episode, we're going to do 4 things. First, I'll map your money system in simple terms, where revenue and expenses originate and what absolutely has to be tracked. Then, Lyric will show you how to turn those numbers into plain language stories your brain actually understands. After that, Stryker will walk through real tools and prompts so this doesn't stay theoretical. And Pulse will land the plane with a weekly rhythm you can run in under an hour.
And we'll finish with 3 quick actions you can take this week to start your AI finance co-pilot without firing your bookkeeper or buying a giant new system. This is supposed to feel doable, not like signing up for a surprise root canal.
Let's map the money. Imagine your business as a simple diagram, not a giant spreadsheet. On the left, you have revenue streams, how money enters your world. That could be client projects, retainers, product sales, subscriptions, online courses, whatever actually brings in cash. On the right, you have your expenses. I like to keep this to a few essential buckets: cost of delivering the work or product, tools and software, people and contractors, marketing and sales, and then overhead, like rent, insurance, and all the necessary but boring stuff.
If you're listening and already feeling tense, breathe. You don't need perfect categories right now. You just need the big buckets so your AI co-pilot can start sorting the chaos for you.
Exactly. Efficiency is inevitable when you get the basics flowing. Now, in the center of this diagram is your cash flow view. That's simply what's coming in this week or month, what's going out, and what commitments are scheduled just ahead of you, such as payroll, loan payments, or taxes.
For an authoritative finance copilot to work, it needs data from a few places you probably already have: your bank account and credit card feeds, your invoicing or accounting tool, things like QuickBooks, Xero, FreshBooks, Wave, plus any subscription or payment processors you use, like Stripe, PayPal, or Shopify.
So we're not saying blow up what you're using and start over. We're saying let's optimize that. Let AI sit on top of what's already there and translate it into something your brain can read in about 5 minutes.
Right. At a minimum, you want 3 flows connected. First, your transactions flowing into one place, ideally an accounting or bookkeeping app. Second, basic categorization of income and expenses into those buckets we mentioned. And third, a way to export or summarize that data so AI can create a weekly money brief. If you already have a bookkeeper, this doesn't replace them. It simply turns their monthly or quarterly work into weekly visibility. If you don't have one yet, AI-assisted categorization can help you get organized enough that when you do bring in a pro, they're not starting from a shoebox of receipts.
And that's the key psychological shift. Instead of finance being this mysterious, delayed report card, it becomes a living dashboard that tells you, in normal human words, if you can hire, if you can run that ad campaign, or if this is a hold up, pause spending week. All right, let's talk about turning those numbers into stories your brain actually likes. Because if you show most owners a profit and loss report, you can literally see their eyes glaze over. But if you say, this week, your client work paid the bills, your retainer clients covered payroll, and your ad spend didn't quite earn its keep, suddenly that's a story. You know who's pulling their weight in your business and who's just eating snacks in the fridge.
Humans anchor on narrative much more easily than on abstract percentages. Pattern detected. When owners see a simple storyline next to the numbers, they make faster, calmer decisions.
So here's how AI helps. You or your bookkeeper run your usual bookkeeper. Then, once a week, you export a simple report. Could be a P&L, could be a transaction list, and you drop that into your AI assistant with a prompt like, "Act as my friendly finance co-pilot. In plain language, summarize this past week for me. Tell me, 1, where my money came from. 2, what my biggest costs were. 3, whether I'm on track compared to an average week. And 4, any red flags or opportunities I should pay attention to. Keep it under 300 words. What you get back is something like, your top 3 revenue sources this week were website orders, your ongoing retainer clients, and 1 large project invoice that finally cleared. Most of your cash went to payroll and software tools. Compared to a normal week, revenue was slightly higher, but your ad spend didn't produce much. Consider pausing those underperforming ads and doubling down on the channels bringing repeat customers. That's a money story. It tells you who the star characters are, your best clients, your most profitable products, your sneaky costs. And that's viral energy inside your own head. You actually want to open the report because it makes sense.
You can go further and ask, which clients or products are most profitable after costs? AI can read your categories and respond with, for example, Your membership program is steady and high margin, while your custom projects are high revenue but lower profit because of extra contractor hours.
And now you're making marketing decisions based on data-backed stories instead of vibes. You might say, we're going to promote the membership harder and tighten the scope on custom work. Let's make it irresistible, but let's also make it profitable.
All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts, but keep it small business friendly. You do not need a giant tech stack to have an AI finance copilot. You probably already have 70% of what you need. First piece, your accounting or invoicing tool. If you're using something like QuickBooks, Xero, FreshBooks, or Wave, you likely already have bank feeds connected and some basic categorization happening. Many of these tools now have built-in AI or at least suggestions for categories. Turn those on. Let the system start guessing, and you or your bookkeeper just approve or correct. Second piece, invoice drafting and follow-up. This is low-hanging fruit. You can use a general AI assistant like ChatGPT or a similar tool, or an AI built into your invoicing software. Give it a short description of the work, your tone, and ask it to draft a clear, polite invoice email plus one follow-up reminder. You tweak the first couple, then save the best versions as templates.
Yes, because chasing invoices is nobody's favorite hobby. If AI can write, "Hey, friendly nudge, your invoice is ready. Here's the link," and you just hit send, that's time and emotional energy back.
Third piece, the cash flow snapshot. Once a week, same day, same time, you export a simple report from your accounting tool or just download a CSV of transactions from your bank. You paste that into your AI tool with a prompt like, "Based on this data, summarize my cash position for the next 4 weeks. Show expected money in from invoices or recurring revenue, expected money out from recurring expenses and payroll, and my likely ending cash each week. Then flag any week where my cash might dip too low." Explain this like you're talking to a busy business owner, not an accountant. Now, you've got a forward-looking view, not just a rear-view mirror. And you didn't have to build a complicated model. On a tight budget, this can all be done with the tools you already pay for, plus a reasonably priced AI assistant subscription.
And once that's working, you can layer in simple what-if scenarios. For example, if I hire one more part-time employee at this rate, what happens to my cash in the next 90 days? Or, if I cut this software that costs $300 a month, how much runway do I gain?
Exactly. AI doesn't replace a CFO, but it can give you a quick sanity check before you make a move. Hire, cut, or invest. On a small business budget, that's huge.
Let's make this real in your calendar, not just in theory. An AI finance copilot only works if it's part of a simple rhythm. I call it the 45-minute money meeting. Once a week, same time, say Monday at 9 a.m., you and whoever touches money in your business block 45 minutes. That could be just you, or you plus a manager or bookkeeper. The agenda is the same every week, so nobody has to think about it. Step 1. 10 minutes, update. Pull in the latest transactions, approve or correct AI-suggested categories in your accounting tool, and make sure invoices and bills are current. This is like brushing your teeth. Short, simple, but it prevents the big, expensive problems. Step 2. 15 minutes. Review your AI-generated money brief. Everyone reads it silently first. Then you talk through 3 questions. What surprised us? What needs a decision this week? And are there any red flags, like late invoices or rising costs, we need to address? Step 3. 15 minutes. Decisions and assignments. This is where you say, okay, we're going to follow up on these 3 overdue invoices, we're going to pause this underperforming ad, and we're going to set a reminder to revisit hiring in 4 weeks. You put names and dates next to each action so it doesn't just live in the conversation. And the final 5 minutes, quick metrics. Look at 3 things: your cash runway, how many weeks you could operate if no new money came in; your on-time invoicing, are you sending bills right after work is done; and your aging receivables, how much money is stuck in hasn't paid yet land. You don't need to obsess over the numbers. Just watch the trends. Is runway climbing or shrinking? Are invoices going out faster? Are overdue payments coming down? If the trend is moving in the right direction, that's your operational green light.
And notice how none of that required a 3-hour finance marathon. It's under an hour, with AI doing the heavy lifting on translation, so you can focus on actual decisions. All right, let's land this with 3 moves you can make this week to start building your AI finance copilot. No overwhelm, just small shifts.
Action 1. Map your money flows in the simplest way possible. On a single page, paper or digital, write your top 3 to 5 revenue sources on the left, your main expense buckets on the right, and your key recurring obligations like payroll, rent, and taxes in the middle. That's your starting blueprint.
Action 2. Set up one AI-assisted summary loop. That could be as simple as exporting last month's transactions from your bank or accounting app and pasting them into an AI tool with a prompt for a weekly money brief like we described. Test it once. See how it feels to read your finances in plain English.
Action 3. Schedule your first 45-minute money meeting. Put it on the calendar, invite whoever needs to be there, and commit to running through the update, review, and decision steps. Even if the first one is messy, you've started the habit that makes the copilot real.
And if you want help speeding this up, we've got you. Head over to apexblue.ai. We've put together sample money brief prompts you can copy and paste, plus a simple cash flow template you can adapt to your business without a finance degree.
Remember, this isn't about becoming an accountant. It's about getting just enough clarity so you can project the next move with confidence instead of reacting to surprises.
Your AI finance copilot doesn't need to be perfect to start helping you. It just needs a little data, a little structure, and a promise from you to look at the story every week. Thanks for hanging out with us on Navigating AI with Apex Blue. Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.